What's going on, guys? I'm gonna put a link to my original video on Michelle Beadle being let go from the NBA Countdown show. Now, she wasn't at that particular time fired, okay? But it seems like she is now done at ESPN, as her and ESPN are negotiating her buyout. Now, I want y'all to understand, she's making $5 million a year at ESPN. Okay, she was first doing the Get Up show, and she was also doing the NBA Countdown show. Still don't know why she was making $5 million. There's other people at that network who I feel like are way more talented, who probably could be making close to that, or they could have took some of that money and put it into other people to end up leaving the network. But according to Inside Hook, Michelle Beadle and ESPN are negotiating a buyout. The former NBA Countdown host could make a jump to Turner Sports or streaming startup DAZN. Okay, it wouldn't surprise me because I believe the same guy that is running that is the same guy that gave her the initial $5 million. So I think he's a big, huge fan of Michelle Beadle. Let's see. ESPN is on the verge of buying out another female host who has apparently fallen out of favor. The worldwide leader, which bought out Jemele Hill for $2.5 million more than a year ago, is working on a deal which will end Michelle Beadle's time working in Bristol. According to the New York Post, the amount of money Beadle, who reportedly still has multiple years left on a contract with a $5 million annual salary, receives will depend on the freedom she will be granted upon her exit, and if she agrees to a non-disparagement clause, which sounds nearly mandatory. It's possible Beadle could wind up with a role at Turner Sports, but it sounds more likely she'll make a move to paid subscription site DAZN, which is run by former ESPN president John Skipper. This is why I tell y'all she's probably going to end up there, because John Skipper loves this woman. He gave her the initial $5 million. He brought her back to the network when she left the first time. So that wouldn't surprise me. The news about Beadle comes on the heels of a report last month that ESPN will be adding Stephen A. Smith to its popular NBA Countdown studio show, which is a good move by them. I think it's a very good move. Instead of Beadle, Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor will take over as hosts of the show. Nichols and her show, The Jump, are also expected to be taking on a bigger role in ESPN's programming going forward. This is a move that I definitely could see happening. Listen, Michelle Beadle has done nothing but show why that type of mentality should not be needed at that network. I truly believe that ESPN wants to change course. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have no problem with that. And I think that the quicker and better they're able to do this, I think that it will make the situation with transitioning the network to being more about sports than anything else. Because people, let me just say this, people love ESPN. People love to watch ESPN, especially sports fans. We don't like the politics. We don't like to be talked down to. We don't like to be preached to. We don't like for you to tell us how we should think. We don't want to have to watch people tell me how I need to be black. I need to do better at being black. Like, I don't want that type of people, while I'm trying to sit and relax and watch sports, telling me how to live my life as a black man. He doesn't make. Michelle Beadle is one of the voices. She was one of the loudest feminist voices. I think the only reason why she calmed down was because John Skipper got let go. And when John Skipper was gone, she could no longer have the cover to say and do whatever she wanted, because she was allowed to say and do whatever she wanted. She was, because John Skipper had her back. She knew John Skipper had her back. Jemele Hill too. And now all three of them are gone. And I think that they want to get back to what made them the money and the success they had. Because listen, let me tell you something. Competition is going to challenge you, and it's going to make you clean up your act. Fox Sports is doing a very, very good job at building their sports programming. Look at the countless shows. Look at how many segments go viral. Look at the amount of people that they have added over the last year or two. They are in serious competition with Fox Sports. The only thing I think they have over Fox Sports is that I believe they have their own streaming. They still have contracts with the NFL, NBA, which always keep them one step ahead. But when it comes to TV programming, original programming, Fox Sports is doing a lot better job. People want to watch Fox Sports. People want to tune in to Undisputed. They want to tune in to Speak for Yourself. They want to tune in to the Cowherd Show. You know? People, for a while, just didn't care about tuning into ESPN. They were canceling their subscriptions. They weren't visiting the site. They just didn't care about the politics. And I think that is good that they have taken the political angle out of sports, which on ESPN they need. Now, they're still going to talk about trending topics in regards to sports if it has a political angle. They're still going to do that, of course. But they're not going to be trying to tell, Caucasian people that, you need to do better as far as listening to minorities and accepting them and this, that, and the third. You're not going to have Michelle Beadle talking about, what white dudes need to do. You're just not going to have that type of mentality up there. You have one job at ESPN. You have one job, and your job is to speak about sports. Nobody cares what you think, about the political landscape or Trump. We care more about what's going on these football games on Saturday and Sunday, the upcoming NBA season. That's what we care about. We care about news in regarding to athletes. We don't care about your political takes. Your political takes are stupid anyway. And I think that they did what they felt like they need to do, and they're going to continue to do so. They're going to continue to let go of people. They're going to continue to clean up that network because they want people to want to come back to ESPN. But unfortunately, it might be too little too late. It just might be too little too late because people really like what FS1 is doing. And because of online and streaming and how you can get your news, sports news anywhere now, ESPN just has a lot more competition. I think ESPN got complacent a couple of years ago. And because it got complacent, that's when all of this SJW political nonsense came into effect. This feminist mindset, the demonizing of Floyd Mayweather, some of the things that happen that just turn people off. Especially this, like, I remember when ESPN would try to, push this Ronda Rousey versus Floyd Mayweather non-existent beef. Non-existent. They just kept interviewing her about Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Just pushing this when it didn't need to be pushed, And I think that that's one of the times people just said, you know what, I am done. These people are trying to push this narrative that I just do not like. I don't like having to come here for sports and having to be talked to and preached to. That's not why I'm here, okay? That's not why I'm here. And I think that by letting go of Michelle Beadle, letting go of Jamel Hill, they are doing what is necessary to continue to make their company viable. And the one way that you don't make your company viable is by having this mindset, this feminist mindset that they need to get rid of, that I think that they're taking the steps to get rid of. And I think that Michelle Beadle's probably going to end up with the DAZN network. As I said, I'm tired of saying DAZN. With John Skipper, because, John Skipper is a big fan of hers. But if John Skipper knows what's good for him. He will not bring that political BS to his network. Now, again, it's a paid subscription, so just because I think because it's a paid subscription, he can say, well, you know, we can speak about whatever we want to speak about, you know. But, you know, that's up to him. If you want to go ahead and destroy your network before it's already been built up, you go and do so, sir. But, you know, those just my take. Y'all let me know in the comment section below. Also, go and check out my previous video on this topic and let me know what you think in that comment section.